Okay. Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's Julie from Ocean Rehab and Fitness. Thanks for joining me today. I have a cold, so be glad that this is not in person. I will keep my germs to myself and hopefully my voice will last throughout class today. So today for our class, the only piece of equipment you will need is a physio band if you have one handy. If you don't have a physio band, maybe you have a scarf or a belt or something else. Ideally, it has stretch, but even just as a hand spacer, that will work for a little bit of extra resistance for us. So we won't be using it yet, but if you do have one, keep that handy. And perhaps if you like to have a little bit of front support for doing hinged work, if that's something that you are able to do with your current amount of core stability, then maybe have a small pillow handy to do some hinged work in a little bit. All right, now I see my water bottle is over on the other side of the computer here, so I'm just going to grab that real quick. So I have that handy as well, and make sure you have some water available to drink during class. I'll give you a few cues on that. Okay, so we are going to start just in a comfortable seat to begin with. If you like to close your eyes just for a few moments of focused breathing, go right ahead and do that now. So we're going to start our focus, as we often do, at the crown of our head, where every breath in makes you grow just a little bit taller, and every breath out keeps that height, but takes a nice even exhale. So big breath in and an even breath out. Good. Every breath in brings the crown of your head a little closer to the ceiling, maintaining that for the breath out. Good. We'll do two more like that. And one. Great. And then we're going to change our focus with that same extension of posture to the rise and fall of our chest. So feel free to have your hand on your chest if you like, to feel that expansion with the breath in and releasing with the breath out. Good. So big breath in, chest expands, breath out to release. Good. So first we have that height. So we've given ourselves a little bit more room to breathe now for these chest expansions. We'll do one more like that. And then we'll move our focus to our belly. Hand on your belly if you like that extra bit of that. Breath in, expand through your belly, breath out, belly button towards your backbone. So breath in as you expand, breath out as you exhale. Belly button comes out, breath in, squeezes in, breath out. One more like that. Great. And if you had your eyes closed, you can take them to open now. We'll start doing a little bit of warm up through our neck next. So eardrops towards one shoulder, back to center, and then towards the other. Moving through some comfortable range here. If you find there's one spot where you'd like to hang out for a moment and get a little more stretch early on, go right ahead, or just move through some range. Last one here. Good. Once your head comes back to neutral, we'll look down towards our lap, back to center, and then slightly up towards the ceiling, just whatever is a comfortable range here for you. Again, if there's a spot you'd like to stop where it's feeling extra tight today, feel free. We'll make sure we stretch everything out at the end of class. We'll do one more here. Great. And then we'll do a few shoulder checks next. So looking over one shoulder with our shoulders themselves facing forward for now, and then changing to look over the other. We'll do one more each way there. All right, we're going to add a little bit of spinal rotation and then add back in those shoulder checks in a moment. So depending on your seat, you can either take your hands to one side of your lap or maybe onto the arm of your chair one side to do a gentle rotation towards that side and then back to center. So we're just doing a small rotation in one direction only for now. So rotate side, back to center. And maybe you're doing that shoulder check at the same time. So looking back over your shoulder as you rotate. Everything within just a comfortable range. We'll do 2 more here. And 1. Good. Come on back to center. We'll do the same on the other side. So tall seat to begin with. Hands are either on your lap or holding on to the arm of your chair for a bit of support as we come rotate side to center. Maybe doing that shoulder check here as well. Good. Last 2. And 1. All right, hands are on your lap. We are going to do a little bit of forward hinge, depending on your level of core control. If a forward hinge is not your best choice today, you can do a press back into your chair. Just make sure that the wheels are locked of your chair. So pressing into the back of your chair, coming back up tall, or hands on your lap, forward hinge, back up to your neutral seated position. So either of those options are just fine, whichever works best for you today. Good, we'll do 2 more here. And 1. All right, and then from here, we're gonna add a little bit of reaching. So again, depending on your core stability, you will either stay upright, pressing back and reaching forward, and then coming to your upright position as you pull your arms in towards you, or you will be forward hinging as you reach forward and then pulling your arms in towards you. So you choose which is best for you of those 2 options. Forward press, reach and pull back in. So starting to activate through your chest as we press forward and through mid-back as we pull our hands back towards hips. Good. We'll do 2 more here. And last 1. All right, let's get arms moving a little bit more now. So again, maybe you have one hand on your lap or on the arm of your chair for a bit of support. The other one's going to come up and over, maybe with a little pause at the top end to get a bit of stretch through your lat muscles. And then with the support of that other hand, perhaps you can do a bit more side flexion to add a bit more reach. Let's do 2 more. And 1. Great, and then we'll do the same on the other side. So either hold on to the arm of your chair or a hand on your lap for a bit of support as we reach up and over. Add a side flex if that's appropriate. Great, 3 more. 2. And 1. Excellent. Shoulders are set. We're going to go wide with like an elongated W kind of setup to start. Elbows are pulling in, arms are coming out to the side. Good. We'll do 3 more here. 2 and 1. Great. And then give me a few backstroke, which actually is going to be one of our first heart rate raising exercises that we do in a few moments here. For now, we're doing it as just our final shoulder warm up for today. Okay, 2 more. And 1, and then a few to the front, little scoops maybe to start, and then getting bigger as those shoulders finish off their warm up. Good, so we'll do 3 and 2 and last one here. Excellent. Okay, I'm gonna grab my phone and get my timer all set up. We have the 45-second intervals that I have planned for you today, and I will go through those as we start our first round. So working at your own pace as always, especially for this first one, we'll kind of ease our way in with our 45 seconds. There'll be 4 exercises, and then we'll take a rest interval as well, and then start it again. So here we go. Our first one is the back crawl, as I already referenced. So for now, we'll go in a standard back crawl, which is one arm at a time, back circles. And if we're looking for some raise of our heart rate, as you start to warm up, this will maybe be a little bit faster, but also a really controlled muscle exercise. So we're really stabilizing through our core as our arms are moving. And then, of course, using those muscles to pull back as if we're resisting against water. Great, so that's our first 45 seconds. Our next one is seated jacks. And today you might do these a little bit different, at least to start with. So we're going to do elbows up to the side. You could keep up with the elbows up as your first time 45 seconds of this, or you could do elbows up, long arm reach, elbows up, long arm reach. Okay, so these are our seated jacks. We know we work harder when both arms are moving at the same time. So if this feels like maybe too intense a pace for you right now, go to one arm at a time. We've got about 5 more seconds left of this one. Great, last one of those. We are moving on to what I'm going to call the breaststroke. It's not necessarily the most technical, but we're pushing forward and then pulling around. This one gives us a few options. So if you have the core control to hinge, you can add a little bit more forward hinge and extra movement to this, or stay upright. Lots of workload with just the arms moving and the body staying in an upright position. Good, so we're pushing our arms forward to center and then pulling around, again, adding in that feeling like the water is resisting. Last one here. And then our fourth one is our burpees, which we do all the time. So that's a reach down towards the floor, a reach up towards the ceiling. So you can, again, be upright for this whole move, or if you're able to forward hinge for your down reach, and then come back upright for your ceiling press, that's great as well. This is the last of our 4 exercises. So after this, we'll take just a little reset. So we have 5 more seconds. Great. Okay, shake it out. Maybe grab a drink of water. If you don't want to take a rest right now, maybe you're doing some sprinter arms. So if you want to keep your heart rate steady in a little bit more of a work phase, go ahead and do that. All right, so maybe you're shaking it out, grabbing a drink of water. If you're ready to keep your heart rate going, we have about 10 more seconds left of our rest interval. So do rest if you need it. And here we go, getting started again. So our first one was the back crawl. Now, as we go through these, you might decide that you would like to make them a little bit more workload. And that is, again, with both arms moving at the same time. So maybe it's both arms, a bit like backwards skipping, I guess, if you were holding skipping ropes and going back, although our hands are moving a lot more than we would if we were holding a rope. But that's that kind of movement, right? Or one at a time. We have about 10 more seconds left of this one. Our next one coming up right away is our seated jacks. So your choice. Maybe you decide to do both arms at the same time, bent elbow and then a long arm reach. Keep it all bent elbow if you like. And again, if you want to reduce the workload a little bit, you'll be moving to one arm at a time. Great, working at your own pace, checking in every once in a while to see how this is feeling, if you need to modify anything. We're going through this set of exercises 4 times today, so we're working on number 2 right now. Great, last one there. Our next one was my modified breaststroke. So pressing forward, scooping around. Use those muscles like you really have to press through the air. Option of that hinge. Great, keep going. We're almost done this one. We only have one more in this sequence and it's time for another rest interval. All right, so our last one is the burpees, a reach down for the ground, up for the ceiling. Option of a hinge as you reach down. Great, we're almost done this one, coming up on 10 seconds. Okay, shake it out, grab a drink if you need it, maybe release some tension through your neck. You're towards one shoulder, back to center, and towards the other. Maybe look down towards your lap and slowly shake your head side to side. We are halfway through our cardio section today. So we are getting ready in about 15 seconds to start with our back crawl again. Again, based on how you're feeling, you might decide to amp it up a little bit and use both arms at the same time, or you might decide to continue with alternating arms for your back crawl for this next one, but here we go. Your choice. Great. So again, lots of power. Imagine that you really have to push to make this a powerful move. So we're using rear shoulder muscles, as well as, of course, all our other shoulder muscles in this move as well, but really activating. Great, we have 10 more seconds left on this one. Okay, our next one is our seated jacks. So again, your choice. We know we're halfway done, a little bit over halfway done our cardio. So if you would like to do your long arm, double arm jumping jacks, seated jacks, that is great. Or take it down to bent elbow, single or double arm. Great, we have 10 more seconds here. And then we're moving into my version of the breaststroke. Here we go. All right, so pressing forward, pulling around. Shoulder blades pull towards center as your arms pull around in a really active movement. Maybe forward hinge as your arms press forward. Great, keep going. We got about 10 more seconds of this one. And then we have one more before we take another rest interval. All right, our last one is our burpees down to the ground, up to the ceiling. Option of that forward hinge as you reach down. Almost there. Keep going. Ten more seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it out. Maybe you reach around and give yourself a hug. Shoulders are low. Again, shaking out your head side to side. Reaching wide. Might do it again. Take a drink of water if you need one. We have one more round. If you would like to keep that heart rate up and you don't feel like you need a rest phase right now, those sprinter arms are a great option. And we will join back in just a moment. We got about 5 more seconds. And then we're starting with our back crawl again. Good. So last round of each exercise. Here we go, back crawl. Both arms at once, still an option. Really activating and pressing rear shoulders. Pressing in the backs of your hands through the air. Good. Keep going, 10 more seconds. All right, our second one is our seated jacks. So maybe you choose the bent elbow and then straight arm lift. Modify as you need to. So take it down to one arm or change the length of your reach. So all bent elbow or all straight arm. Knowing that our straight arm lifts are a little more workload than our bent elbow. Almost done this one. We got about 5 more seconds left, and then we are moving on to the breaststroke. Last one here. Good. All right. Pressing your arms forward, activating to pull your arms in that circular motion back. Option of your forward hinge. This is our second last cardio for today, cardio interval. So go for it. Five more seconds, and then we are moving on to our burpees. Last one. Great. Down to the ground, up to the ceiling. Optional hinge. And you can really make this one an active press in each direction as well. Good, last one. Here we go. All right, finished cardio for today. Good job. I am turning off my timer. Shake it out. Grab a drink if you need one. And we are moving on to use our physio band. So you can grab your physio band. Again, if you don't have one today, and maybe you have a scarf or a belt or something else, preferably it has some stretch, but we can make do with some of those others as well. All right. I'm going to stay with the same side of exercise for 2 rounds, so 2 sets. So if you want to set up your band in a way that's comfortable for you without having to switch things around a lot, you might want to wrap the band. so it's a little easier to hold on to, especially if you have issues with grip strength. We're gonna need a fair amount of band between our two hands for this first one. And I'm actually just gonna tip my screen so you can see my lap so you know where I'm stabilizing the band. Okay. All right, so the first time we do this exercise, we are going to do it with forward facing shoulders, meaning that we're not adding in any rotation. And then I'll give you an option of rotation the next time we do this exercise. So I have the band wrapped. I have quite a bit of space between my two hands because this is going to be a fairly big move. So shoulders are set, one hand is stabilizing. So it's just gonna stay on your lap for stability. And the other one, I'm going to keep a slightly bent elbow and press diagonally up towards the ceiling, keeping my shoulder set and in position. So if you find that your shoulder starts to come up as you raise, perhaps you need to give yourself a little bit more band or change the resistance if you have more than one band to make it a little bit lighter resistance. Because I would like this exercise to be rear shoulder and in through mid back around your shoulder blade on that working side. Great, so we're starting at our stabilizer hand and then pulling cross body diagonally. Shoulder stays low the whole time. Good, let's do 3 more. 2, and 1. All right, reset that shoulder. I said we'd stay on the same side just for ease in setup. And we're going to do that now. So maybe I'll just shake it out and get ready for our next one. So I'll just chat for a minute while you're having a rest, and then we will start this exercise again. So if it's appropriate for you to add in a little bit of rotational work with this, our exercise is now going to look like this. You have 2 different options, actually. Well, 3, because shoulders can be facing forward just like we were doing. That's always an option, is to do the exercise as we set it up the first time. If you would like to add some rotation, you will rotate as you reach and bring it back. Hips are staying even on the chair and facing forward as well. So the rotation is coming through my spine. And then the other piece that you can add on, if you like, is to look up towards that hand as you rotate. So just adding in a little bit more visual cueing as well. So whichever of those options you take, we're going to do 8 of them together starting now. So we'll go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Reset that. Theoretically, your hands can stay wrapped exactly as they are now if you did wrap your band. And now the other arm, the one that was just our working arm, becomes our stabilizer arm, staying on our lap. Shoulders are set. For this first set, we are staying with forward facing shoulders. Soft elbow as you reach that arm out to the side diagonally, back to center. Good. Let's do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Great. Reset, shake it out if you need to, make sure those shoulders are set back and down. And then decide on this side which option is best for you. So shoulders can be facing forward for another 8 of those exercises, 8 repetitions, or you can add that rotation as you reach, or rotation with upward gaze as you reach. So as you will for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. All right, I'm going to unwind myself from the band because I'm going to grab my pillow for a bit of front support. I don't need it quite yet, but it will be handy to have as we set up for the next exercise. So the next exercise is kind of the opposite of what we were just doing. So if we were just reaching diagonally up, now we're going to press diagonally back in a very similar type of move. So first time with shoulders facing forward, second time with an option of some rotation. And I have the front support pillow here. So if you are able to hinge, I'm giving you a hinge option as well. So again, wrap the band if you find that that's useful to you. And we are ready to get going. We're going to set up the exact same way. So one hand is on your lap for stability's sake. You have the option of staying upright for this exercise, or if you like a hinge, maybe with your elbow resting on your knee for a little bit of support as well. Make sure that this is a move that's stemming from your shoulder. So moving from your shoulder, pressing your whole arm back. Soft elbow is just fine. Good, we'll do two more. And one, if you were hinged, you'll come back up tall, reset. And here's your options for round two of the same side. So regardless of whether you are upright for this exercise or whether you are hinged forward, we also have the option of a little bit of rotation. It just might be a different range of rotation depending on your seat of choice, let's say. So if you're upright, hand on your lap, you might rotate back as you press back. The exact same will apply here from a hinged position, just a little bit different feeling. So make sure it is a rotation through your spine and just a gentle one if you do choose that. And of course you can track with your eyes. So look back over and watch that hand press for a little extra work as well for this exercise. Whichever one you choose, go ahead and set up, and we are doing 8. So with or without rotation and that extra gaze back over your shoulder. Good, we got 4 more here. Make sure that shoulder stays low. Last one coming up here. Great, come back up tall, reset, and decide for the other side what's best for you. Hands can stay in pretty much the same place, just shifting over to the other side, your opposite lap. And if you were upright for the first side and you choose to stay upright for this one, absolutely fine. If you would like to hinge with some front support and that's an option for you, go ahead. Either way, let's go for another 6 here. So we'll go 6, 5, moving through the shoulder joint. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. If you were hinged, come back up tall, do a reset, and then decide again. If you are adding that rotation, and whether it's from an upright or hinged position, with the option of that little bit of a tracking gaze as well. I'm going to stay upright on this side, but add in that rotation. And we're going to go for 8 here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. All right. That is all I need that pillow for. So you can set it away if you were also using a pillow for some front support. We're going to do one more shoulder exercise. It's our rotator cuffs that we do quite often in class. You can leave your hands wrapped, just whatever is comfortable for you to have, palms facing up for this one. Elbows glued to your side. We don't need too much band in between our 2 hands, depending on how resistant your band is. Shoulders are set in place. Let's go both hands at the same time. Forearms float out to the side and then evenly come back to center. Good. So really listening to your shoulders on this one and just working through a comfortable range of motion. Elbows are staying glued, so it is quite a small range to begin with. Good. Let's do 2 more. And 1. All right, reset that one. I'm going to just change this exercise just a little bit, and we're only going to do 6 more. So this becomes not so much rotator cuff as more rear shoulder again, which we did just use, but we use them a little bit more in combination with this particular exercise. So this time your elbows are more or less straight, shoulders are back and down. Palms are still facing up, so your arms are extended out front. This is a bit more of a core exercise too. We need some core stability in order to stabilize as our arms move in a bigger arc off to the side, back to center. Maybe you give yourself some extra band if you need to. Just coming to whatever stopping point feels good for you, so there's no need to come until your arms are in line with your body. Oh, I said we were just going to do 6. We've probably done more than that already. You can do 1 more and we will reset that one. All right. So I have one last exercise for you today and we don't need the band for it. So you can just set that down. We're going to do our oblique side flexes. We do these quite often as well. If you find that it's helpful for you to have your free hand either stabilizing on the base of your chair or holding onto the arm of your chair, that's an option for you. The other hand is going to be reaching down towards the ground. And then you're going to side flex towards that hand as it reaches and use your oblique muscles on the opposite side to pull you up. Now, actually, if it's available to you, I will have you hold on to the base of your chair because I do want this to be an oblique exercise, but we can also get just a little bit of bicep going on here as well as you actively pull yourself back up. So using that arm, slight elbow bend, make sure it doesn't dilute the oblique work though. So your side core muscles should feel like they're really working to help pull you back up to center here. Let's do 2 more. Slow it down a bit on the way up. Slowly come back up. And last one, side flex, slowly back up. Excellent. Reset. Let's do the same on the other side. So if you're able, hold on to the base of your chair for a little bit of support and a bit of resistance to add that bit of bicep workload here as well. The fingertips of your other hand are reaching down towards the ground, side flex to bring them a little closer, and then grab on and pull with that chair as well, or sorry, your hand on the chair to pull you back up. Maybe it's on the arm of the chair, that works too. Good, so activating a little bit through that hand that's holding onto the chair, but mostly through your obliques, side core muscles on that working side. Good. We're going to do 2 more really slow on the way up. So squeeze and release down. Do it 1 more time. Come up tall. Good. And shake it out. Okay, it's time for us to stretch. So let's go ahead and do that now. One of the first stretches I'd like to do today is just stretch at the back of our neck, at the base of our skull. And this could be multi-part exercise. So let's do it 2 different ways. For one, I want you to think about how we stretched at the beginning of class. So we took the crown of our head closer to the ceiling. You can do that now, crown of the head close to the ceiling. So stretching it up. But then also thinking about retracting your chin. So bringing your chin not down, but back. So just giving yourself a little bit of extra space at the base of your skull. This might feel like a stretch as it is. And you might hang out here for a moment or two and then release and do it again. If you would like to add a little something more to the stretch and you're able to reach both your hands up so that you can touch your hands to the base of your skull or the back of your head, we're just going to put gentle pressure. So our fingers will press against our head as we push into them and just opening up for a little bit more stretch. So again, we're not looking at dropping our chin towards your chest. We're looking at pressing your head back into your hands. Great, release that one. Now, since we were in that positioning, we'll use that as a bit of a chest stretch in a moment too. So I'm giving you two options for your chest stretch today. If it's best for you to take your arms out to the side wide and hang out there for a breath or two, and then come back into center, that is fine. If you were comfortable with your hands up at just a gentle rest on the back of your head, you'll stay here and bring your elbows wide, sitting tall, taking a few breaths in and out, opening up through front shoulders and chest. And then maybe you'll release and relax through your elbows, bringing them forward. And we'll do that one more time. So you can have your arms wide if that's a better, more comfortable move for you. Right, and release. Okay, let's move on to stretch through our rear shoulders a bit more. We will start with a long arm reach across body, grabbing on around your elbow area, just above your elbow. Checking in to make sure that shoulder of the stretching side is low. Good, ease off that stretch a little bit. Maybe this time as you reach around to reset the same stretch, you also rotate just slightly, looking over your fingertips of the extended hand, a little bit of a shoulder check. And back to center. Good. On that side that was just stretching, give me a few really slow backward crawl motions. Last one. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So reaching across body, shoulder is low, elbow is straight for this one. Just pulling your arm in towards your chest to help with the stretch. Good, and then ease your way partway out of that stretch. Add the stretch back in the same way with an option of a little bit of rotation and a gaze that looks past your fingertips. So a bit of a shoulder check on this side as well. Great, ease your way back to center and 3 slow shoulder circles on this side. Okay, at the beginning of class, we did, as part of our warm-up, our reach up and overhead. We're going to do that now as more of a side body stretch. So you may want to have your hand on your lap to stabilize, or on the base of your chair or the arm of your chair for a bit of stability as you reach up and over. And then maybe side flex to give yourself a little bit more space to reach. Maybe you're really pressing the base of your hand diagonally up towards the ceiling as well. You might even get a little bit of inner forearm stretch doing that too. But we're looking for a stretch, lats and in through our obliques. Back to center, we'll do the same on the other side. Hold on for stability as you need to. Reach up, side flex, really press actively the base of your hand towards the ceiling. Great, ease your way out of that one. We are almost finished for today. You can take your hands and either interlace them or clasp one hand over top of the other. And give me just a little bit of wrist rotation here. Back the other direction. Right, you're going to open up your hands. They can be interlaced or one over top of the other to press them forward, giving some extra space between your shoulder blades as those hands press forward, low enough that it doesn't feel like your shoulders are coming up. And then we'll add, this is our breathing exercise today. So you're gonna blow your hands away from you, exhale, and then breathe your hands back in towards you, inhale. Try to really slow it down. So it's a slow exhale as you push away and a slow inhale as you come back up. Maybe you're adding a little bit of hinge here, forward hinge, or staying upright as you need to. Good, we'll do that 2 more times, blowing your hands away to the front, breathing them back in, and 1 more. All right, shake out your fingers, shake out your wrists, shake out your elbows and your shoulders. So as usual, I will stick around for a few moments after class. So if you have any questions or anything you want to chat about, feel free. Otherwise, I'm going to end class as I always do with our 3 big breaths in, starting down low and reaching for the ceiling. Great, we got 2 more. And last one here. All right, thanks for joining me today. Hope to see you again next week. Okay.
Okay, I'll see you next week.
Great, sounds good.